Along with the Indian Air Force and the Army, the National Disaster Response Force are the heroes of the intense rescue and relief efforts in Nepal. TV Today Network's managing editor Rahul Kamal spent a large part of the day watching and interacting with them closely while they tirelessly sifted through the rubble in hope for life.
We are currently on the Shobha Bhagmati Bridge. With me is DIG Randeep Rana. He's in charge of operations over here. This used to be a shopping mall. So explain to us the complexity of the rescue operation here, sir.
This was a 5-story building, collapsed literally in a pancake fashion, and it has become almost a single-story building. So getting entry into the building was very difficult.
So how did you manage to get entry into the building?
We had to make first we made observation holes, and with the help of victim locating camera, we could identify some of the bodies lying on the top floor.
सर इसको पहले हम लोग एक इंस्ट्रक्शन होल बनाते हैं यदि ऊपर रूफ के अंदर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो अभी हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा स्पेस है तो हम लोग इसको डायरेक्टली इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं और इससे विक्टिम की 360 डिग्री में हम लोग इसको पता कर सकते हैं कि कहाँ पे विक्टिम फंसा हुआ है।
कितने लोगों को इसके जरिए बचा चुके?
अभी तक हमने 7 जो रेस्क्यू किए हैं कल किया था जो तो इसी से अधिकतर हमने जब 5 विक्टिम निकाला इसी से हमने सर्च किया था। उसका सीट दिख रहा था पीछे से फिर हमने उसको कटिंग और पेटिटी करके निकाला।
What happens next?
Usually after drilling the holes, people, since when the building collapses like this, so bodies are trapped. So with the help of airlifting bags, we have to lift the structures so that the body can be taken out.
So you put those bags over here and you've dug these holes?
Yeah, they can be inflated and we can get some space. So that
this building is already very brittle, making it very difficult for you actually to be able to stand here and operate.
I mean, surely since it has collapsed like this and it was already a weak foundation building, so this risk is always there. But these things that has to be done in this environment only, and our boys.
You said this is a multi-floor building, right?
Yeah.
So we are currently on the top floor. What about the possibility of there being bodies
on the 3rd floor?
We're now on the 3rd floor.
We are standing on the.
How many floors are below us, sir?
2 more floors.
So is there? Have you been able to go down to those 2?
Yeah, we could see on the 2nd floor.
See again through these cameras.
Yeah, but ground floor we have not been able to see so far.
Is there at all any possibility that you'll be able to pull somebody alive? Is there a possibility of miracle survivors on the 4th day, sir?
This cannot be ruled out totally, but possibility is very low. But occasions have been there in the past when people have been able to come out live after more than 78-90 hours also.
Well, it's incredible the kind of effort that you all are making over here on a building that is very, very shaky. You can almost, each time there's a minor tremor, you can feel the entire building shake. We've now reached Brajeshwari, where a team of the NDRF is looking for 7 people who are supposed to be buried somewhere inside that building. 2 bodies have been pulled out by the villagers. The NDRF team telling us that there are 7 bodies somewhere inside. Their mission now is to try and find those bodies. We are joined now by the Director General of the National Disaster Relief Force, O.P. Singh, who, despite being the DG of the force, is on a broken building himself, trying to supervise these rescue operations. So first and foremost, my concern how do you ensure that this building doesn't go down? The building already in a very precarious position, and all of us are perched on top of this building, sir.
Absolutely. That is why my boys are taking all kinds of precautions so that this collapsed structure doesn't further collapse. And you have seen this, it has fallen like a V shape. This particular roof, which is a concrete roof, has fallen like a V shape, and that is why you see the surrounding houses. They haven't collapsed, and this must be one of the reasons why it has collapsed, because of the weak wall. The walls are very weak, and the RCC roof is there, and that is why they just couldn't sustain the weight. And
so how is it that, like for example, if you see the buildings in front of us, these haven't collapsed, but the building that we are on has collapsed. So what is the difference between a building that stays and a building that collapses during an earthquake?
You know, that the difference is between the building construction style. This building must have been constructed with a very small and thin and weak wall. Its wall must not be more than 1 inch. And these houses, they must be having a very thick and strong wall. And that is why they didn't collapse. So that is the reason. And this has fallen like a V shape. So that is why we are drilling through the chipping hammer the first layer of the roof, and then we'll go down, then again the second layer of roof will be there, because this is a multi-storied building and the rental people were there, so we have to go down to just see. Look at that point there. Look at this point. We are trying to establish a shoring business. So as to
what is a shoring business?
Shoring is to stabilize the layers. So we are trying to stabilize, because this is a very weak layer. It may fall again. So that is why my boys are doing the shoring purposes. They're keeping it like this, so that to stabilize this.
So how many total operations is the NDRF mounting today all across Nepal?
We have 10 locations which have mounted operations all over the valley, and this is a new location, which was given just a couple of hours back, and that is why we came here. But there are other locations which have been doing the night and day operations all through.
So how many bodies do you anticipate being inside this debris, sir?
There could be at least 5 dead bodies. This is what the local people told us, because there were 9 people in total, and 4 have already fled away the moment this earthquake struck on the very first day, within the few hours of the collapse of the building. But there are still, we suspect 5-6 people are still under the debris.
So, but there's so many collapsed buildings all across Kathmandu. So how are you deciding which ones are priority, where you wish to try and mount a rescue operation?
We are not deciding about the priority. This is for the Nepal army to decide. We are tasked every day. We have the meeting in the morning, and they tell us that these are the locations which are suspected of having the dead bodies or the bodies of life kind. And they tell us to go to this particular, because this collapsed 3 days back, but we were given this location only yesterday.
So how does the equipment, the training of the NDRF teams compare with some of the French or the Israeli teams I saw near Darbar Square, sir?
Oh, my boys are well trained. They are all internationally trained. They are competing with the Insarag team back home, and they are being trained by the Switzerland team. So they are all well trained. They are taking help of the technical equipment they have been going through.
The NDRF team is currently trying to find an alternate approach route to go inside where they suspect these 5 bodies to be. They're trying to shore this wall so that it becomes safe for them to make an approach. As you can see, there's a lot of debris lying around, lots of big blocks, big slabs of bricks, which are very, very dangerous when left loose. They're trying to shore this area. They've already been able to pull out 1 dead body from right behind there. Where you see blood spattered on that piece of cloth. That's where they pulled out a body. There are 5 more people who are suspected to be inside, and they're trying to look for them.
यहाँ से विक्टिम में जो यहाँ से अप्रोच करने का दूसरा चांस ये है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमको डेड बॉडी की स्मेल भी आ रही है।
कहाँ, कितना दूर से आ रही है आपको?
ये तकरीबन यहाँ इस 10 फुट के एरिया से यहाँ पे डेड बॉडी हो सकती है, क्योंकि वो स्मेल किया था हमने, क्योंकि हम यहाँ पे बहुत देर हो चुके हैं और यहाँ पे काफी देर काम करते हैं, यहाँ पे हैबिचुअल हो गए हैं।
What you're seeing in action now are the dog squads of the NDRF, specially trained Labradors whose job it is to be able to send people, dead or alive, who might be buried somewhere in the debris. Let's speak to their trainers.
ये डॉग ने ये बताया सर कि यहाँ पे जो है विक्टिम हो सकता है, यहाँ पे
विक्टिम हो सकता है। तो क्या ये डॉग ये भी बता सकता है कि ये विक्टिम क्या जीवित है या मर गया है?
वैसे सर ये जीवित उसका बताता है, लेकिन सेंट काफ़ी फैल चुकी है, तो ये उसके जो मरा हुआ है विक्टिम उसका भी बताएगा।
अच्छा, तो ये नहीं पता चलता कि डॉग ये नहीं बता सकता कि जो बॉडी है वो किसी जीवित आदमी की है या मर गया है, ये पता नहीं चलता है?
जी नहीं, वो खाली जीवित आदमी के को ज़्यादा सूंघेगा और ज़्यादा, मतलब अगर जीवित आदमी अगर होगा तो उसके लिए ज़्यादा बार्क करेगा, डेड आदमी पे इतना बार्क नहीं करेगा।
जीवित आदमी हो तो ज़्यादा
जीवित आदमी को सूंघता है।
सर्च को पुख्ता करने के लिए डॉग सर्च, कैनाइन सर्च की जाती है, जिसमें हम डॉग्स को भेजते हैं।
जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव सर्च कौन सा होता है?
मैनुअल सर्च होती है, उसमें सबसे पहले विक्टिम्स को निकाल लिया जाता है, फिर बाकी सर्च बाद में की जाती है।